Hi guys, welcome to our third session for week 3. Today we're going to work on the contact form. The assessment is creating your contact form and the form that goes on it. The text bar with the page titles is the same, just update the words. The form is broken into 2 rows and 2 columns with a background image that spans behind all of them. Follow the layout from your wireframe, or if you mocked up your contact page, see the copy from the provided document for the required form content. And we're going to go through this, and you can skip where it says update the form mail PHP document because you are uploading to Adobe Muse next week, and Adobe Muse will not allow you to use a PHP form in their free hosting site. So you can just skip that. Don't worry about getting points off. You don't have to mess with that PHP form because you cannot use it. So then you're going to set your media queries using the media queries just like you did on the services and the crew page. You're going to set those media queries so that the wireframe, the contact form, it all looks good. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at, we're going to take a look at the wireframe for the contact page. Come on. Let me see if, let's try this again. Come on. I'm spinning. There we go, found one. Thank you. Okay, this is what the contact form looks like. This is the layout for the desktop view. Layout for the cell phone view. It's pretty much the same, exact same. It just shrinks it down. The cell phone layout is slightly different. Everything is stacked on top of each other. So we have 2 rows and 2 columns. Our first row has how many columns? Our first row would be here. There's our first row. 1 column. Our second column has how many rows? Our second row has how many columns? Oh my gosh, it's been a really long day, guys. We have 2 columns in our second row. So that's the way we're going to be setting up our CSS. But first, you note from the wireframe, it says the contact photo needs to be set at, transparency needs to be 20%. And you're going to be using the puzzle photo. So the first thing we're going to do is hop over to Photoshop. I'm going to go to File, Open. And we're going to go into those student start files, go into that image folder. Come on. And we're going to find that puzzle photo. There it is, contact background, JPG. And we're going to open it. Come on. Now we need to set the transparency to 20%. So on your layers panel, I'm going to double click where it says background so that I can unlock it. And I'm going to turn the opacity down to 20%. Like that. And I'm going to go to File and hit Save. I'm going to save it over. I want to save it as the background, and I'm going to change it to JPG. And hit save, replace. Okay. Close it. Cancel. Close it. Don't save. And then we're going to hop into Dreamweaver. Okay, according to our wireframe, it should say contact us at the top. So I'm going to go over to my files. I still am in my lawn care. If you don't see those files up there, make sure you go to site at the very top and go to manage site and click on your lawn care folder and hit done. It'll open those files for you. I'm going to open up this contact page. And I'm going to go into code view. And minimize the header, minimize the footer, and I'm going to highlight everything between the main tags. And delete it so that my cursor is in between those two main tags. So the first thing we have to do is the contact us. So really, we could do that as a row. We'll go div class equals row. And according to our Word document, that is an H1 tag, I believe. My computer is really, really slow today. Come on. It's an H1 tag. And it says contact us. So there's that. I'm going to go to the end of that row, put my cursor after it, my enter key. Now we have to start the div for the next row. So class equals row. And then the next tag is I have no idea why my computer's being like this today. Okay, the next tag is an H2 tag, and it says, how may we help you? So I'm going to come back here, make that H2 tag. How may we help you? And in that same row is a paragraph. And you're just going to copy the text from the Word document and paste it where it belongs between those two paragraph tags. And then there's a phone number at the bottom, which is an H3 tag. And the office hours. So we're going to copy all of that and paste it between that H3 tag. And we're going to need to add a line break here. A line break here. A line break here. And that's the end of that row. So I'm going to hit my enter key, and we need that last row that has 2 columns. So we're going to do div class row, my enter key, and I'm going to do the first div for my first column. Div class equals how do we want to do though? Let's go to our CSS designer. I want to look at our rule. Look over our rules again. Column medium 1/2. That's it. We'll do column and then column medium 1/2. Oops. And in that div tag is where we're going to start our form. Now, the easiest way to do that form is go to your insert panel in Dreamweaver. If you don't see it over there on your tabs up at the top with your files tab, go to Windows and go to Insert. And there's a little drop down at the very top of it. We're going to click on Form. We're going to click our Form button. We have to double click it. Come on, put it in there for me. There it goes. We're going to put our form in there. I'm going to hit my enter key. I'm going to click back into this form tag. I'm going to hit refresh at the bottom. That form needs an ID. We're going to give it an ID of contact. And then, according to our Word document, we have to have certain fields. We have to ask for the person's name. So I'm going to hit my text box. Come on. There it goes. And it gives you that input text. If I click inside that input text, we get all kinds of information down here. ID, format, name, has to have a name. Well, we're just going to call it name. Value, your name. What happens when we do that? Let's look at our screen. Inside that text box, it's going to say, it's going to tell them what to put there, your name. Okay, that works. We also need our text though, because we need to say your name beside it, right? And there's placeholder. Put name in there. There's a place for the title. It's not necessary to fill in that placeholder. And value, I'm going to change it to just an example name. So let's see, James Smith. Right in front of that input, we need to put a label. And we're going to do name. Just like that. So now you could do this one of 2 ways. You could copy this, copy, put your cursor after it, hit your enter key, and paste. You also, according to our Word document, you have to have the email, phone number. So let's go email. And then I'm going to change this to email, ID to email, value. I'm going to do jsmith@email.com. I'm going to hit my enter key again and paste. And change name to email, name, email, phone. Oops. Phone. 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 And 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Example phone number. Okay, so that's the input boxes. And then you need a preferred method of contact checkbox. You need an email option and a phone option. So I'm going to copy that text preferred method. And we need a label. The label. Preferred method of contact in between it. I'm going to hit my enter key. And it says we need a checkbox. So I'm going to go down my form list here. And choose checkbox. Input checkbox. Refresh. Name. I'm going to put phone. Value. Phone. That all looks good, and I'm going to put a label right after it. Label, and it needs to say phone. Just like that. And I'm going to copy all of that. Copy, hit my enter key, paste it, change phone to email. 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 And then our Word document tells us we need a comments and questions text area field. So I'm going to copy that text. Hit my enter key and do that label tag again. My comments or questions. Put my cursor after that label field. Hit my enter key. And now we're going to find the text area button, which is right here. And we have our text area. And hit refresh. Right now it's a little bitty box and everything is all combined together. We're going to have to make some changes through this form. We're just going to get everything on there right now. So I'm going to hit my enter key again. And we need our submit button. It's over here under the forms. I'm going to click this submit. Fresh. Click on my submit button. Form button type is going to be, oh no, not form. Where is it? Form method. There it is. Form method is going to be post. I'm going to hit my enter key because we also need a reset button. Just like that. Refresh. We're all good. Okay, so I'm going to shrink my screen down to cell phone size because that's what we're working at right this second. We're getting there. So that's the end of our form. Oh, did I misspell email? Yes, right there. There we go. Okay. So everything looks good there, and that's our form, and that's our first column. I'm going to hit my enter key. We need to do that last column for this row. So div class, column, and then column medium 1/2. And in that next half, according to our Word document, the next half has what in it? What is our wireframe? Oh, I put something in the first column that wasn't supposed to be there. A Word document is a little confusing right there. Okay, so we're going to go back up because what goes between that columns is actually this portion right here. I'm just going to cut that out and bring it down here. Paste it. It goes right underneath that. So now we need to start our rules. First off, we have this row up here at the very top, this H1. And I'm going to add a class here. Class equals info box. Let's do dark. That works. There's our contact us. Now our paragraph looks pretty good. Do we have an H2 rule? Let's take a look and see if we have an H2 rule. Yes, we do, right? H2, right there. I'm going to add a bit of padding at the top. So it bumps it down just a little bit. Like that. And our text centered. Our paragraph looks fine. So our next portion, according to our wireframe, our form should have a background, or that row. Let's see, this row goes all the way there. This row and here, according to our wireframe, that image should be behind it all. So that means I need to move my form tag just a little bit. I'm going to grab this form tag here, cut it, and paste it right there. And this one, paste it right here. And that means our form, now my mouse isn't working, come on. Our form holds all of that information. And I need to make a rule for it. So I'm going to go back up here to the top one. I'm going to go over to my selectors, hit my plus sign. Pound contact is fine. It needs a background image. So I'm going to click the little folder icon in the properties of the CSS Designer and let my computer think for a moment. And go into my lawn care site images, find that contact picture. It's all faded now the way it's supposed to be, and hit open. Well, that looks pretty good, not too bad. So my row is fine, my H2 and paragraph tags are good. Then we have this div column medium 1/2. As far as cell phone size go, that rule is fine. So I want to go to a label. Definitely going to need a CSS there because I want to move that input box over just a little bit. So I'm going to click on that label, CSS Designer, hit my plus sign, maybe. Erase everything but label. And I'm going to give that label a bit of padding. So push everything over just a little bit. We'll go 10. Good there, yes, 10 there, and I'm going to give it padding 10 on the right too. I'm going to do 10 right, 10 left. That looks good. Now then, my input name. It offers me a size option in our properties box. We need to size it. If I do 100, too big. How about 75? Still looking a little too big. How about 50? 50's better, but it's not on the same line. So let's go down to 40. 40 puts it on the same line, and that looks pretty good. So we're going to leave that size at 40. And I'm going to do the same thing for the email input box. Just going to type a 40 there. And the same thing for phone. And what's next? Preferred method of contact, I'm going to add a line break there. So it moves email and phone down. That looks pretty good. Now for the phone, I want to make a specific selector there. I hit my plus sign. And you see it says pound phone. And I'm going to add a P after that because we have another one called phone. That means I need to change the name of this one and add a P there. So I want to set the margin, the padding for that one, so that it bumps everything over. I may have to do that on the margin. So it bumps it over like that and kind of lines it up there. And then we get down to our text area. I'm going to do a line break after the comments and questions. And then we have our text area. I'm going to give it a name of comments. And add a rule for it. Delete all of that. And set my right margin at 10. Now, it asks for rows and columns. Definitely need some more rows. I had 10 rows. That's pretty good size. Now I need some columns. Well, let's go 10 at first and see how wide that gets. It's not very wide. 20. 40. Oops. 40. Still not wide enough. 50. A little too much. 45. That's better. Now, I also have this issue with, I look kind of jagged up here. Notice that? It looks kind of jagged. So I'm going to go to my input tag and create a selector. And I'm just, oops, I misspelled that. Input. And I want to go display, block, oops, display, inline block. That's a little better. It still didn't even them up all the way. So my next option would be I could go to text. The line right, but it's going to push everything down like that. That's really not what we want. So I'm going to figure out which 2 of these needs to be moved. Now I can move just the phone and push it over, or I could move the name and email. I think we'll go with just the phone. So I'm going to click in this input box, hit my selector icon, get that pound phone, because that's the ID. I'm going to go to my margins here, and I'm going to back it up just a little bit. Come on. It looks pretty good. Now it looks like name needs to be done also. Let's go to name, plus sign, pound name. Back that up just a hair. And now we're in line, except for our submit button. Click it, plus sign. Come on, plus sign. Oh, we didn't give it a name. I'm gonna go pound, submit, and give this a name. And on the submit button, I need to give it a margin of 10 so it matches everything and gets bumped over there where it's supposed to be. And then we're going to go back and clean this up a little bit. So let's go back and take a look at what we have going on now. Okay, all of this looks pretty good. Our paragraph is great. Now, this div class that starts our actual form where our input boxes are, I think it needs a little bit of space. I'm going to create a new rule that says top padding. Oops. My selectors, I'm going to hit that plus sign. Erase everything except for top padding. And I'm going to add 25 pixels at the top. Let's see if it'll let me add 25 pixels. Bump it down enough. That looks better. So there's the top padding on that one, and I'm going to use that same rule here to bump the phone number and stuff down a little bit. I think that looks pretty good. In our medium column and cell phone size, that looks fine. I think we could use some right and left padding. So that might very well mess up our, let's see. Come on. Here we go. Let's see if we have a paragraph tag. P10. Evers. I'm going to add some padding to this P tag, just a little bit. I'm going to go 5 and 5, which gets it off the edge there. And let's find that H3 tag. H3. And we're going to do the same thing. Go 5, 5, hit our enter key. That looks better. Our form is looking pretty good. I think it could still be spaced out a little bit. We may go back to that input rule. Let's find it right there. And add a bottom margin to everything. Like 15 pixels. kind of spread that out a little bit. I think that looks a lot better. What do you guys think? It sure is. We're just adding our rules to kind of space that out. And you just have to find the tags that you need affected. Like our H2 tag up here, that's fine. It's got plenty of space. Our paragraph was a little close to the side, so I adjusted our P tag. Now, we have paragraphs on other pages, but just adjusting 5 on the right and left isn't really going to affect those other boxes, so they're going to be fine still. We didn't change anything major. And then, of course, we have our column, medium column 1/2, but also here, before we made this top padding rule, name set right underneath your. I wanted to bump it down some more to make sure it was good and separate. So I added a top padding rule and just gave it some top padding. I also applied that top padding rule to the div tag for the phone number and stuff. Email is still off. Email, 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 email. Where do you see it off? Email, 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 email. Oh, the placement of email. Here? We need to add some line breaks there for sure. Let's see if that'll level it out. Let's see, we need a line break here. Line break here. Line break there. They're pretty even across there, I think. We may mess with that lineup as we get a little bigger. The next thing I want to talk about is I think these boxes are awfully skinny. You can change that with your input and actually make them just a little bit bigger than what the default size is. You mean here? We would have to, let's see, we'd have to add a space there. Checkbox. We might add some padding right there. Move that over like that. So it's not sitting right on top of the edge. Okay, so that's looking pretty good, except for our comments box still isn't quite lined up. What if we do 48? 48 is pretty good, but is that too big for when we're at 320? 320 is right there. Nope, we're still good. Except for our phone is not still good. So that means we need to shorten all of these just a little bit. Try 38. 38. 38. Oh, that's pretty good. And let's move our, let's make this 47. 46. There we go. We'll make it 46. So now we're looking pretty good at cell phone screen size. We're good. So let's check out our 768 rule. 768. Everything looks pretty good except for some reason, our footer is where it doesn't belong. Footer. Footer is good. Let's find our form rule. Oh, it's the contact. Our contact rule is called our background image. Background position, background size. To cover. Background clip. Oops. Background repeat. No repeat. Orange background attachment. No. Center. Center. It's still not stretched far enough. It should be. But our form tags don't seem to be taking up that entire space the way they should be. So, how are we going to fix that? Well, we could simply change the rule. I'm going to hit my minus sign there. When something's not working right like that, sometimes you have to rearrange some stuff. So I'm going to cut that form tag out, and I'm going to bring it back down here. And I'm going to go all the way back to the top. Here is our div class. I'm going to go div class equals, and I'm going to do form back. I'm going to cut this div tag, index. I'm going to add that div tag down here. Refresh. Hit my plus sign. Look at that. It's still not taking it all. Come on. There's that row. Row, file, save all. Come on. Come on. Take all this, cut it, erase that. Let's put it between section tags and see if I can force it to pick it up. Label. Oh. Where is it? There we go. Now let's see if our section tags will have forced it to pick it up. Come on. Refresh. It still wants to only read that paragraph. Why do you want to be like that for? Come on. Okay, here's our section tag. Let's see if it'll pick it up when I do the background. Background, images, contact, open. Size needs to be cover. All the way down. File, save all. File, let's see if it'll do it in my browser. And it's not. Why aren't you? Yep, we got this row, but the section goes all the way down. Hello. I'm just gonna see if I can get the remover to recognize it. Okay, well, we go there just fine. So we back out div, class, column, medium 1/2, oops, top padding. Oh, takes it out. What if I take out this div tab and this div tab? Nope, it still refuses to recognize it. Now can we have it? Dreamweaver hates me. It does. Don't be a pain. Okay. Leave one of these. Refresh. I'm gonna make we're gonna give our main an ID. ID equals contact page. Plus sign, enter, image, contact background, size, oops, size, cover, no repeat. But it's not even picking up our main content, is it? You got to be kidding me. File, save all. I'm going to close this page for a second and see if we can get it to open correctly. What is this? Main. It's hello. It's showing all of that in the main. 2 rows, 2 columns, and our section. So back to my code. Refresh. All of that is in my main, except for you're not reading it like it is. All right, you're making me mad. See, guys, it's not just you that have issues with Dreamweaver occasionally. Sometimes it just doesn't want to work. So, how do you fix that? You start from scratch. File, save all. Name, ID equals contact page. And then I need a div class equals row and info box dark. And H1. Contact us. And div class equals row. And H2. How can we help you? Paragraph tag. That. Refresh. We're good so far. And that's wonderful. So div class row Class equals, we're going to do medium column this time. And the form tag. We need a label. Oh, we're still in there. And we need our input box text. Still good. And we're going to call it name, size 38, value, James Smith, a line break, and then label, phone, input, name equals phone, oops, type equals text, ID equals phone, value equals 1, 2, 3, oops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Size equals 38, bracket, line break, enter. We're still in. Yay! We're getting there. Okay. I think he didn't like me copying and pasting is what it came down to. Label. Email. Input. Name. Email. Type. Email. ID. Email. Value. J. Smith at email.com. Size 38. Line break. Name, phone, email, and then it was the comments, right? Label. Oh yes, I need to respell knowledgeable. And preferred method of contact comes next. Okay. Oops. Let's see. I'm going to forget about knowledgeable. Knowledgeable. Preferred method of contact. Email, phone. Okay. Preferred method of contact. Line break. And then input. Name. Type. Oops, this is wrong. This should say text. This should say check. Oops. Checkbox. ID equals email key. No no value, and no size, and no line break. Oh, I forgot, and a label. Make a label here. Label. Email. Except for phone needed to come first. There we go. Input. Name. Oops. P. Type. Checkbox. ID. P. No value. Label. Phone. Yes. Yes, except for a rule is not applying itself here. Let's figure out which one it is. Oh, it should be capitalized. Click that and correct it to lowercase. There we go. Okay, so email, phone, and then we have the comment box. Comments and questions. Copy. Label. I'm going to add a line break here. Line break here. And then text area. Like that. It's all good there, but it needs to be set. Rows were at 10. 46. Can't remember what we had that set at. 320. 46. 47. I think 47 looks pretty good. Okay, there's that. There's the form. Enter key. No, that's the end of that column. Next column. If class equals column, median column, and the next set of information went into an H3 tag. Copy. H3, paste. Line break. Line break. Line break. Line break. Refresh. Please be in there. Okay. This also needed to say top padding. Yes. Yes. And this. No, we did that. That was right, right? Yes. Spread it out. Oh, come on. Okay, we're fine until we get there. What the heck? I may have to do a new rule here. And here. So now if I go into 768, we're still okay, except for I need to move my box up here. So that's going to call this rule. So I want to go medium, column 2. Okay. Width, percent, 50. Actually, I think I'm going to have to go a little smaller because I have some padding added there. 48 and float left. Why can't you just stretch across there like a good. It should not. That should not be happening, guys. It just should not be happening. Okay. It's all right. Class equals, what did I call this? Contact page. I'm going to erase that. How you like those apples? As you can see, guys, there's always a way to force something to do what you want. We need to make a little bit of an adjustment here, though. Oops. Where did that go to? Contain. No, we need to go to cover. I want to change my position now. Let's go center. Center. That looks better. That looks better. Let's go to live view now. Okay, desktop. Yay. According to our wireframe, that is correct. Tablet. Yay. And cell phone. Yay. All right, guys. Oh, no. Cell phone size is not correct. What happened? What happened? What happened? I know that. Duplicate into 768. Duplicate into 1024. Cell phone, tablet, desktop. Okay, guys, so your code. You guys want me to send out this file too, like I did the other 2 pages? Did you guys get the emails? I can send you out this page too if you would like. Because we did a lot of coding here. Just remember when you come back to watch the lecture, go to the second time I do this, since I had so much trouble the first time, that way you're not confused when I do it the second time. So just fast forward until you see me erase all those main tags and start from scratch. Why Dreamweaver is being such a baby today, I don't know. It didn't like me copying these lines is what it was. because when I typed them individually, you saw the picture move with it, but when I was copy pasting them, it wasn't working. So I will send out these files too, so you have them to look at as you're coding to make sure that you have it right. And you can check out the styles and all the new ones that were added to it. Because we added the customer satisfaction. What else did we add? History, H1. Info box dark, column style. No. We added the pound phone, the comments, the medium column 2, the input, the pound phone, the pound name, the pound submit. We added a top padding. The section, this can actually get erased. The dot contact page, we added that. And then in table view, we added the medium column 2. And in desktop view, we added the medium column 2. And I think that was the only one. Yeah, the medium column 2 in desktop view too. So we added several CSS rules just for your contact page. They're all going to be right here to the bottom. We will start with the label. That was the first rule we added. But I will send out these files too, so that you have them to compare to yours to make sure you've done it correctly. And it'll help lead you through the demo. And well, Dolores, I can't break the recording up. It's all one recording. You can follow the first half, but when you see me copying and pasting, make sure you're typing instead of copying and pasting, because that's when my Dreamweaver decided to stop recognizing the fact I was between 2 tags. So don't copy and paste like I did, because it's likely that your Dreamweaver may do exactly what mine did. If it's happening to me, it's likely it could happen to you. So type it out like I did the second time instead of copying and pasting it. That is one of the downfalls about Dreamweaver. Dreamweaver is great, but it can be very picky on what it wants you to do and what it doesn't want you to do. And copying and pasting today was one of the things it did not want me to do. Now, tomorrow, I may be able to copy and paste all day long and it'd be just fine. That's why I call it a 2-year-old all the time, because it can't just fix something it doesn't like and stays that way. Sometimes it doesn't like it, sometimes it's perfectly okay. But the contact form in general, guys, is pretty simple. I mean, there's a lot of code there, but if you don't want to type it, you can always use that insert button, this insert box every time you need to add a text input box, or you need to add a label, or your check boxes. You can use this insert panel instead of typing it all out. You just click on it and it's going to add the tags for you. And then you're just going to have to go down to your properties box at the bottom and fill in the size, the name, that sort of thing, and it'll do the code for you if you don't want to type it like I did the second time. Once you get in the hang of typing it, you're just repeating every line and changing what's in between quotations, except for in the type, and it's either text or checkbox. And as you start doing it, just like in week 1, it'll start making more sense to you. And now that you have week 1 under your belt, you're going to start typing, and it's really going to start making sense to you. Yeah, see, Dolores, I would rather type too than use these little insert options over here. I'd rather just type it out in code. But that's me. When I started web design, we didn't have all these nifty little options like this. That's something Dreamweaver has added and added and added as it's upgraded, but I've been so used to typing out all that code that it's just kind of habit for me. So I always like to make sure I show you guys it's there so you can use it, because everybody, all of us have our own way of doing things. So yes, you can follow the first time. Just make sure instead of copying and pasting like I did, you type, because that's where my Dreamweaver hung up and decided to stop recognizing the main tags. Any other questions, guys? Okay, then we'll call it a night. I will get these files sent out and get the recording posted. Good night, guys.